They got us, didn't they, Cleo? Yep. The deer came. They had their meal. Didn't they, Magoo? They sure did. Well, let's go check everything else. Okay? What a shame. Well, as you can see there, from the south side driveway bed, that was looking really nice. Just back here on June the 11th, when I did my last garden walkabout and talk about. Well, you can see a deer came by and had a feast. Yep, they did. So we're going to take you along with us and see what else they decide to munch on. So we're going to head on out here to where we got our little planting. Well, also looks like they appreciate the squash. Yep. That one's done. That one's been browsed back. Oh, me. Oh my. Remember those burpee garden green beans that were all so bushy and looking so fine? Well, you can see they're browsed back too. Okay, I know, Magoo. It's rather disappointing, ain't it? Guys, why don't you run the deer off? You tried. You just a little kitty, huh? And they're so big. Well, Papa will take care of it. Well, that's all they got. So everything else is fenced or netted off. Oh. It's just a disappointment though. Of course, like I say, I didn't touch the oregano, which is right here, where they could have easily munched on it. And I crushed up a lot of this oregano and put it around all those plants up in the south side driveway bed. Didn't work. And we're going to talk about things that have not worked here in a minute. Because now the decision must be made. And sometimes, oh, hey Elrod. What you doing, little buddy? Elrod, you don't often make an appearance here on the videos anymore. Does he, Cleo? Elrod, come here, kitty kitty. Well, you call kitty kitty. You're gonna get the Magoo, and of course, Cleo. Yeah. Elrod, what you got to say for yourself? Where you been? People been worried about you. No, you're gonna give Magoo a few kisses. Better go over there and give Cleo some. So as you can see, Elrod's with us this morning. It's early morning. And we're doing our walkabout. And unlike most mornings, I decided to bring y'all along first thing. Most mornings, I forget about y'all. I don't know why I thought about doing it today. Maybe it's because I thought there'd be something to show you. Unfortunately, it's not the best news. And my heart's a little sunk. And I'm not feeling too happy. Trust me that. Oh. Well, y'all, it's early in the morning. I'm trying to wake up, have my coffee, respond to some emails. Went through the comments on the last video. And I appreciate all y'all's comments and emails. Truly I do. And if I haven't got to yours yet, know we're working on it. Oh me. But now, a decision has to be made about deer problem. Which hasn't been a problem for many years. It started becoming a real big problem in 2019. And if you go back and look at the videos back in 2019, you understand all what I'm saying and everything I went through to try and deter the deer from eating what little bit I put in here. Now, if I had the main garden plots going like I used to have for all those years, well, some odd nearly 20 years, I'd have total devastation. There comes a time when a decision must be made. And I've made it. And I'll discuss that with y'all in just a second. Let's take a seat and we'll talk a bit. Elrod, what are you finding there in the wood pile? We're going to have a little fire tonight. Roast us some hot dogs. What do you think, Cleo? Hot dogs sound good tonight? Yep. I got a package. They're frosting in the freezer. Or took them out of the freezer. They're defrosting on the counter. Guess I'm just so upset, really can't think right now. Where's your little baby kitty, huh? Where's your little baby kitty? Underneath focus, like normal? Well, later today, we're gonna build you a house. Well, we're not gonna build it, we're gonna put it together, okay? Because we bought it off Amazon. And it came yesterday. Okay? So y'all, as you can see, deer came in sometime last night, early this morning, and went ahead and pretty much ate off everything up there in the south side garden. Bed, side driveway. I didn't think they'd touch that because it's so darn close to the house. But they did. And I can say, oh well, it's my fault. I should have put that netting around it. But I had that little sort of, twine fence around the garden green beans, the okra and squash up there. Just sort of, they'd see it and not venture into it. Well, as you can tell, that didn't work. But that's something I'll say right now. And before y'all start recommending Irish Spring soap, mothballs, everything else I know you're going to suggest, I went all through that last year. I bought like 24 bars of Irish Spring soap. Yep. I shaved them up, I cut them up, I put them all over this place. Guess what? My deer didn't mind that at all. So then, I went ahead and got mothballs. That's something people say. Strong smell mothballs. So I bought like, oh God, 20 pounds mothballs. It's rather pricey. And I put them all out. Nope. Didn't bother them a bit. Then people recommend ammonia. You know, kind of clean with. So I did that. Then I bought several commercial deer repellents from Tractor Supply and off Amazon. I put them out. Nope. Didn't deter my deer at all. I must have mutant deer. So I'm not saying none of those things work somewhere. They just didn't work here. So then people recommended dog pee or dog poop. So I got some of that. And I put all around. No, it didn't work. I even bought, and it's quite pricey, coyote and wolf urine. Yep, soak rags in it, put it out. Nope, didn't work. So, you know, after doing all that, and you can see some of all of this on my videos from last year in 2019. Finally decided to put up 7-foot high deer net fencing. Yep, sure did. Drove the posts in, put up the netting, which was, if you buy good stuff, a little bit pricey. Not as pricey as buying the metal, so I put that in. And for, I think, 3 weeks, worked out fine. Then I was sitting out here one day in my lawn chair underneath the old big oak, and I watched a deer jump it. Now granted, his feet or hooves drug across the top 1 foot, but he jumped it, no problem. And not only did he jump one section, he got up to run speed and jumped the other section. And that was a little disheartening. But since I was sitting out here, he didn't eat nothing. So, a few more nights went on, I come back out here, and that plastic deer netting, apparently they tried to jump it, and when they did, they just tore it down. And that was game on. They ate tomatoes, leaves, stems, everything, okra, beans, garlic chives, peppers, cucumbers, pretty much everything, down to nothing but nubs and stems. And it was, I went ahead and patched that deer netting, and some of that stuff came back out and survived. And another week or two would go by, deer would hit again. And this went on for like about 4 to 6 weeks, till finally I just threw in the towel and said, okay, we're going through a drought, the deer are hungry and starving, they can have it. And I gave up on gardening or growing anything here in 2019. And like I say, you can see all that back on my 2019 videos. Now, as you can see, this year, I pretty much got everything netted. Now, my rattlesnake pole beans, because the netting hadn't come in yet, I didn't have them netted. Deer came in here, a couple of nights before I did the June 11th garden walkabout, and they browsed it down. And I put the netting up, can't get to it now, or so far. And that's another thing, everything that has the netting around it right now has been spared. For how long? Who knows? Then I've been using a spray, and the spray is fish emulsion, because I do that on Fridays, and it's also got garlic, onion powder in it, and that had been working, you know, like I told you on that garden walkabout, until the rain kept washing it off. Well, you know what I did last night? Last thing I did before I came in for the evening, I sprayed that south side garden bed, the okra, the tomato that you saw that was in the beans, and the squash, you know, my zucchini, only got one, down with all that. And it was quite stinky. Nope. Didn't deter deer last night, and I know it was quite stinky when I went in, because I went in nearly at 8 o'clock in the evening. Yep. Rather late. So I knew it was fresh, and we didn't get no rain last night, so it wasn't washed off. And you see all the kitties around. Of course, I can't blame Magoo, Cleo, or Elrod. They're just tiny little animals in comparison to the deer. Even though they'd want to take care of Papa's stuff, they're probably not going to face off a buck or even a big old doe. So, in the beginning of the video, you saw what they left me. Now, will those burpee garden green beans come back? Oh yeah, probably will. Will the okra come back up in the south side garden? Probably not. The tomato? Doubtful. 3 of the 4 rattlesnake pole beans might, but that 4th one, they ate it down just to a single stem, and I can tell you that's not going to come back. So we're going to be replanting, because we're not going to give up. So what are we going to do? To take care of our problem? Well, like I said, I've tried every suggestion. I've tried every recommendation on the entire internet. Hasn't worked here. I'm not saying it don't some places, but that's questionable. Because in my experience here, Alabama deer, they don't care. Now here's a few facts about deer here in Alabama that you might not know. It is estimated we have 1.8 million deer in Alabama. Over 5.15 for every square mile of land. And that's if you spread those suckers out across the entire state, which you know they're not. But I've seen, coming in from work, because you know I work nights, I've seen as many as 14 here in the yard. Yep. Entire herd. You had to be real careful when you were pulling in that driveway. There was a couple of nights I pulled in and actually literally had deer jumping over the hood of that Focus. Yep, sure did. So we got a huge deer population here. When you consider we've got 3 million people estimated, that's a lot of deer. In fact, if you look up the statistics for the 50 states in America, you're going to find Alabama's way up there in the top 3 or 4 for deer population. And back when I was working nights and coming home very late in the evenings, when I say evenings, actually morning the next day, it'd be around 1:30, 2, 3, whatever, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning, you'd always see a fresh one smashed and dead on the highway or off the side of the highway. There's a real problem with cars here. Every day, somebody hits a deer. That gets back to all, what do? Well, I've still got that tree service coming. They're going to be coming next week. And that being said, I'm not going to be putting up permanent fencing right now. As soon as the tree service comes and does all their work, then I've got to think about it. And I spent some time here in the past, and I've looked at it before, about permanent deer fencing 7 foot high. You know, metal, not plastic. Plastic didn't work out. It's pricey. 7 foot high fencing, folks. That gets up there, you know, $600-700 per roll. And I'll be honest with you, I really don't have that kind of money that I can spend on fencing, not including posts, gates, and everything that goes with it right now. So what am I going to do? Well, you might think, well, he's going to kill the deer. No, that's not going to be my first option. My first option is I have 2 air rifles. One is an extremely high-powered air rifle, and I could kill a deer with it. And I have another one that is also high-powered, but you can adjust how much velocity and power it puts out. So what I'm going to do, even though I hate this, I'm going to pick a place on this property, and I'm going to sit up at night, yep, I am, with that air rifle. Now, I'm not going to load a pellet in it because that might penetrate. I'm going to put a BB in it because it'll use both. And I'm going to try, should they come, to sting them. And hopefully that will put the thought in their memory, you don't want to come back here because it's going to be painful. Will that work? I don't know. And just for all of y'all want to suggest lights, oh yeah, I put up lights. This goes back to those videos in 2019. I put up strobe lights, motion control, loud alarms. Yep, also did that. 110 dB. You could hear them in the house with the TV blaring. Didn't work. And when it all gets down to this, about the only thing that works is an extremely high fence and extremely high cost. Like I said, I'm just not financially able right now to put all that money in the fencing. You got to take a look at the value of what you're growing and use some common sense. Now granted, I want to get my garden plot right over here. This one clear back off and use it because that was one of my first over the first 10 years I lived here. Then I want to get the second one cleared off, which was right over here. I'll show you. You can see it right over there. Yep. where Magoo is. Beside the shop. Yep. That was my second one. So I want to get both of those back in production. One will be my fall garden, one will be my spring garden. But here again, if I planned them all the way out with everything, it'll take a while to pay off some high tensile metal, deer fencing, posts, gates, and all that. Maybe next year. Not. Oh, and please don't order anything off Amazon or other places and send it to me for this. It's not necessary. And anything that would be anything cheap just don't work. Been there, done that. And like I said, that's where you can go back and look at my 2019 videos. Oh yeah, tried it all. Cause why? I don't want to shoot deer. Now let me tell you something. If the air gun don't work, stinging them, and they just keep it up. Now, the caveat is, if this pandemic goes south and we start seeing a lot of food shortages, whether it be vegetables, staples, spice, whatever, meat, then I gotta step up my game. I have to make a decision then if what I'm growing is more important than the deer. And I'm an animal lover, you all know that. At that point, the decision may be, and that's where the hard decision comes in, where it's just more advantageous to order another chest freezer and harvest the deer. Yep. And I hate that. Not something I'm looking forward to. I haven't deer hunted since my very early 30s. For very personal reasons. And in all honesty, those very personal reasons are, and you can get with anybody who's been in the same situation. Those who have had to take life during whatever they were involved in. You take so many, eventually it has an impact on you, or at least did me and several others I know. And I went deer hunting. I think I was what, 30 at the time, maybe 31. And I just couldn't do it anymore. Didn't need the meat. Didn't see the enjoyment or the sport in it anymore. And I came on back. And I haven't hunted a day since that day. For nothing. And I won't. Unless I'm forced to. I won't kill another animal unless I'm given any other choice. But in the end, you still gotta eat. You know, I got 5 kitties that have to eat, and me. Now I'm gonna tell you what, 5 kitties can eat a little bit of food each day, even though they're small. So, push came to shove, and I do have to harvest those deer. kitties will be eating well too, just like old Mr. Tom. It has been a pile of years since I've had venison. Oh, while we're out here, I just want to show you this Latanya bush, because it's just so beautiful. Look at that. That is simply stunning, don't you think? And I love the way it has yellow with orange center and pink blossoms. Woo! And the smell. Of course, smell also messes with my asthma and COPD. Woo! It is strong. Cleo, standing on my feet don't mean we're gonna stay here, okay? Let's go over on the front porch. Okay? Come on, baby. As you can see, got a lot of those yellow flowers popping back up. So y'all, that's my Sunday morning. June the 14th, 2020. Wasn't what I was expecting when I woke up, or what I was wanting. You know what? That's just what life is. This gets back, where I was talking about to cherish the successes. You must also learn to accept disappointments in life. And I accept what I had. Am I going to starve to death because my okra, one tomato plant, 4 rattlesnake pole beans, and my burpee garden beans were all browsed down to nubs? No. Lord knows. Anybody's been on the channel, I had enough food, even for y'all's contributions, which I truly appreciate, and were such a blessing, for 4 people, probably for a year, possibly 2. Just one little old man, I'm covered for 4 to 6 years, easy, if I never buy another thing. Now, all that said, that's canned, dehydrated, and freeze-dried. The kitty crew, prior to all of y'all sending all your blessings and gifts, was stocked up for at least 6 months, if not 9 months. Not counting, I also have freeze-dried kitty food. Of course, then it was just Trix and Merlin. And I had enough for Trix and Merlin for at least 6 months. And then once Merlin died, I only had Trix, and it would be a year for her. But now we have Trixie, we have Magoo, we have Cleo, Elrod, and the new little kitten. And she hasn't told me what her name is, and she's currently still asleep this early in the morning. She tends to sleep in. But I thought I'd come on today, and I really wasn't going to make a video. But I thought, well, if I don't show you today and put the video out, you'll just see it on the next garden walkabout. And I'll have to talk about it then. So, decide to get it over with today. And I do hope this video finds y'all happy, healthy, and safe at home with your family and loved ones. I want all of y'all to take care out there, and when I say that, I truly mean it. Make, the proper decisions to safeguard your health and the health of others you may come in contact with. Pray for all those who must work, essential and otherwise, and those with special needs, especially here in our community. I want you to be safe. Make proper decisions there too. I also want you to know that God will bless you in your lives as you have blessed others. And it's just that simple. And I don't say that enough. The blessings we give to others come back to us tenfold. Now you can look that up in the King James. So I hope today you're enjoying your Sunday with family and loved ones. Maybe you're listening to your church service or watching it, or you're there in person with the proper social distancing. And before I leave, I want to say, don't count out this virus. Don't make it less than what it is. So, until me, Cleo, Magoo, Elrod, Trixie, and the new little kitten, see you on the next video. Take care, stay safe, and God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye for now. Cleo, the video's coming to an end. You don't need to clean up right now. It's over. Now we gotta get to work. Okay? Y'all all fed. Now Papa's gotta go in and get bird feed. Get them all fed. Then on the water. Such is life. And of course, as soon as I go in to get that bird feed, Trixie's gonna be all over me. What, Trix? I was out. The deer got us. Didn't you? What have you done? You got plenty of food there. Now, why'd you go get a rifle? I'll bet it's an air rifle. And put by your food. You don't need that to protect your food. No. You don't. The deer aren't going to eat your food. They're not going to come in the house. So I want you to put that up right now. Do you hear me? I want you to put that up. Okay? Put it up right now. Okay. Okay? I don't care what you say. Put the gun up. They're not coming in the house.